defense is like the most important part of the game. Like you can't win a game without stopping anybody from scoring.
When I decide that I'm going to get the steal, I fully commit, because if you go halfway, then it cuts your chances of getting the steal. So if you're going to do something, you have to commit to it. You can't think twice. You can't second guess.
You know, one of the things I've noticed about your defensive stance is you do a good job in staying in front of your player. And I think people need to know that if you want to be a good defensive player, make sure that you're moving your feet quickly enough to stay in front of that offensive player.
Well, you have to stay moving, because if you keep your feet planted, then your reaction time is going to be pretty slow. The more you move, the more chances of having a quick reaction you get. Key would be to have a wide and low stance, because most of the time players get past because their feet are too close together, or they're just hunching their back and not really bending their knees. A good defensive stance is always a low and wide defensive stance.
This is a very confident dribbler, very confident guard. How do you defend that? How do you defend a quick guard with great ball handles?
Nobody's perfect. You can't leave a good guard unpressured, because then they're going to make good decisions. Just make sure that they're uncomfortable. You have to put them in a situation that they don't want to be in.
With a player like Kiara, I just have to be patient and just basically have to get it when it's far away from her body. So when she does like wide crossovers are something that I love, because it's away from their body, I can take it. I'm just really focused on when they're going to make that mistake and when I go attack the ball.
So the pattern is easy for you to understand. The difficult part is
actually the points of vulnerability. Yeah.
You're defending somebody as far as speed and height of a professional athlete. We're talking way over 6 feet, super quick, can handle the ball very, very well. Walk us through that. How do you defend a player like that? Or can you defend a player like that?
It's definitely more of a challenge, but it's just the same as anybody else. I mean, you have to look for the points of vulnerability. He's tall, so he's going to arch his back more than he bends his knees. But the lower he gets, the higher his dribble gets. For a defensive player, that's just like gold, because it's so much time to steal the ball.
I'm noticing that every time he dribbles that ball, your feet are moving with that ball. So you're not even necessarily just focused on him. You're also defending that dribble as well. Every time he takes a dribble, your feet are coming off the ground on your tippy toes. This is the point where you just go at the ball right then and there. As soon as it hits his hand and you see his motion pushing down on the ball, you start running towards the ball.
Well, at this point, the ball is as much mine as it is his. Well, now it's just mine, but...
The timing is perfect for that. Do you have a tendency to kind of look at their eyes and see if they're looking at you or looking at their teammates?
Yeah,
What does that tell you when they look at their teammates?
that they're not worried about me. Usually when the point guard's looking at their team, like focusing on who they're going to pass it to, is really when I usually go for the steal because they're not really focused on the defender. They're focused on getting the play set up or dribbling or looking for the open man. So that's when they're not really paying attention to me.
I'm reading like where the other person's eyes are, like that has the ball, like where they're looking to pass it, and I'm looking like, if I was on offense, this is where I would pass it.
Talk to me about that consistent approach when you're playing defense.
The most important part of the game, like you can't win a game without stopping anybody from scoring. So, if I get a steal, then I have a wide open layup. It just kind of creates my offense for me. The ball is your scholarship and you got to go take it. That's what I think about every time somebody else has the ball. Like, I just want to go get it because it's mine.
Is it you're just waiting for the right time? And what is that right time?
Not going to be like, oh, wait 3 seconds and go. It changes for everybody. But most of the time, you just got to wait till they make a mistake or you see like a little kink in their dribble. Maybe they dribble too high, maybe they dribble too wide. And once you recognize that, you just go and cut it off.
One of the key ingredients to being good is making sure that you're quick enough and fast enough to stay in front of the offensive player. I think if you do a good job, it's just a matter of time before they make a mistake.
Usually when the game starts, I'll study the players, see like if they make a wide crossover, if they dribble too high, or like something just like unique about their game, because everybody has something. So once I identify that, then I can use it to my advantage. Best thing to do with a good guard is play up on them, because a good guard knows what decisions to make. Just basically you have to get it when it's far away from her body, so when she does like wide crossovers, you can't let a good guard think. I'm just really focused on when they're going to make that mistake and when I go attack the ball. And, like when it's at its best point of vulnerability to me. The most important part of defense is to get low, to get lower than the person on offense, because it gives me a quicker first step. When I have my hand on her, I actually want her to spin, because usually in a spin move, players don't have that much control of the ball because they're trying to control their body. So as she spins, then I would just come around the other side.
So right here, what are you looking at?
The ball, because she's about to turn, and it's about to be really open, so I'm about to go for the steal.
Tell me about your off-the-ball defense. What's going through your mind? What do you see on the court?
I have to be proactive rather than reactive. So like I'm reading like where the other person's eyes are, like that has the ball, like where they're looking to pass it, and I'm looking like, if I was on offense, this is where I would pass it. And then sometimes I would like lay off my player so that they can pass it to him, but I'll be close enough where I can get the steal. So basically I kind of trick them into giving it to my player because I know I'm going to take the ball. So I put in a lot of work. It's just a lot of hard work being put in that, nobody sees. They just see what you do on the court. It's definitely something that you really need to want and strive for. You're going to want to be successful more than you want anything else. And that's what drives me, because I want to be successful and I want to make it to the next level.